Today is the second day of a new year, 2022. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting part 14 of my Rational Mind series, A Guide to Rational Living. This presentation focused on managing change. My main message: our rationalists consciously manage change. Any change, whether it is forced upon a person from the outside world or chosen for purposes of growth or ambition, must be actively managed to ensure a good outcome. Changes tend to induce discomfort and fear, and these emotional states tend to arouse adrenaline-driven behavioral responses of fight or flight. When faced with a physical threat, these visceral responses are both natural and appropriate. However, few modern changes are driven by physical threats. Most changes are only threats to our psychological comfort zones, where a person is either striving to preserve them against external change or to expand them as self-chosen internal changes. To respond to or initiate change, you must be prepared to apply a proven rational process to the management of change. Successful change will require the appropriate mental state, the right beliefs, and focused acts to create all the conditional inputs necessary to get the results you seek. Proposition 1. Just remember, change will always involve a threat to your comfort zone, to one extent or another. External change forces one to defend his comfort zone or adjust to the new change. External changes may be outside your control. Internal changes, which are freely chosen, requires one to expand his comfort zone to include the desired changes that he wants to incorporate into his life. All change involves comfort zone management, and in order to affect change successfully, you must manage your discomfort. If you prepare yourself properly, you can avoid the unsettling discomfort of change, whether imposed by the outside or by choice. Preparations might include research, practice, and mental anticipation. You can inoculate yourself against the typical sources of discomfort and fear that accompany change by counseling yourself to focus on what factors or inputs you can control to steer the outcome in favorable directions. If you set up unrealistic expectations on gaining some predefined outcomes outside your full control, you have just set yourself up for possible failure and its accompanied emotional distress. Don't set yourself up for shattered disappointment by fixating on outcomes that are outside your control. It's far better to commit to doing your best when faced with external change by adjusting, choosing, and working to direct any change in favorable directions. Proposition 2. Before starting on any inner change, prepare yourself both mentally and physically. Your subconscious beliefs must also support the changes you seek. You also need to know your limits and scope of the self-directed change. And if it exceeds your ability to control the outcome, then you need to downsize or de-scope the limits of your change to fit your tolerance level. Keep your focus on and control the inputs required of the change or goal. Change and goal can be used interchangeably. The toughest changes are those found outside your comfort zone, which necessitates a change in your subconscious beliefs and the willingness to undergo some tolerable level of comfort. Here is where problems begin for most people, because to change hardened beliefs is not without some challenge. Most people don't even recognize the necessity of changing their beliefs when faced with the prospect of moving outside their comfort zone. Before attempting to change anything outside your comfort zone, you must become mentally prepared and physically ready to provide all of the inputs objectively required by the process of change to create the outcome you seek. The number one reason why most people fail to change, even after overcoming the procrastination due to fear, is due to the resistance caused by their existing irrational beliefs. So make sure you have developed supportive beliefs of self-confidence before you begin. Proposition 3. Change management is the process of setting and achieving goals. Now here are the steps you need to take that will increase your success of changing or achieving a goal. First of all, gather accurate and relevant information about the change so you have a good mental map of how you get from where you are now to where you want to go. Don't want any surprises as you begin your journey. Second, develop a compelling reason, which is motivation to achieve the goal's rewards. This will make sure you have resilience and staying power. And third, develop an unshakable belief in your ability to provide the right inputs. This will ensure that you will commit and actually begin the effort to achieve your goal. To effect change outside your comfort zone, you must become the person who meets the prerequisite conditions necessary to arrive at and maintain your new future state. To manage change requires some adjustment in both the physical world and the psychological world. Change has both a mental and a physical component. In essence, you must become the person who can comfortably fit into your desired new comfort zone, one that reflects the life changes you seek. The sooner you reinvent yourself to fit into any pending change, the easier and faster you will arrive. You must decide in advance if you're willing and able to suffer some discomfort and fear to preserve or change your comfort zone. My final message: any desired outer change requires an inner change first. Managing change, whether it is imposed from the outside or freely chosen, will be much easier if you are mentally prepared for the effort, conditioned both physically, mentally, and spiritually. The better your preparedness, the easier the effort demanded, and the more likely your success in managing change. Preparation is the key to any successful journey. The most important part of preparation is mental, which includes instilling the right supportive beliefs and self-confidence. 2, elevating your motivation to work for what you want. And finally, 3, a willingness to accept the accompanying discomfort and fear that accompanies all change. Well, that's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.